My college boyfriend left me for my sister and now they are engaged. When Eric and I parted ways, I didn't know it was because he fell for my sister Helena at a family barbecue. I also didn't realize that they started to date behind my back and it took him 6 months to leave me and it took her 2 months to acknowledge my heartache and to apologize. She thought that because she is my sister, she had a free pass and that I would love her anyway because I had to. Last week she told me that they were engaged. Not only that, but Eric had popped the question using the ring that he claims to have bought for me. I don't know why she felt the need to tell me that, as she showed me and my mum. I wanted to give her the reaction she wanted, but I struggled to find the words as I gazed upon a huge emerald-cut diamond from my favorite store. Just as she finished telling me how he asked her, complete with the song Eric and I first danced to at college, Eric called and said he was coming over to see the family and celebrate the news. On arrival, he greeted everyone but me and would not stop groping my sister as he waxed lyrical about how excited he was to be with a good woman, unlike his ex. I almost choked on my champagne. I couldn't understand why he was being so brazen. My mum shot me a look and she breezed past the comment, aware of how stale the air was becoming. I started to become sick of hearing my sister go on about her wedding, and how perfect their lives are together when it was me who met Eric at college and dated him for 5 years. I was the one who should have been standing there with that ring. God knows I wanted to marry him, but I smiled and nodded, swallowing the tears. Eric started to watch my face, and I saw a little smile curl at the corner of his mouth. He turned to the family and said, "You know what I love about Helena? How she always picks the best gifts for people," before shooting me a glance. I looked at the floor, remembering that time I made him a gift after graduation because I couldn't afford to buy him anything. He went on to say Helena always knows what to say and how to show me love. Again, another dig at me. Helena saw that I was becoming tense, so she rallied behind Eric and said, "Oh yeah, Anna, didn't you and Eric fight about love languages?" I said nothing and gave a small nod in agreement. As this was playing out, my mum presented the party with a few varieties of wedding cake my sister had sent us all to try, but I wasn't allowed to. I asked why and Eric said, "You're on a diet, remember?" And they laughed, confident I wouldn't bite back. So I casually walked over to the cakes, grabbed a fistful of the chocolate sponge in one hand, and lemon in the other. I then strolled over to Eric and Helena, and in turn, pressed the cake into each of their faces before wiping my hands on their clothes. I stood back and admired my work. After all, they had it coming. My dad burst out laughing, fumbling for his drink in the awkward silence. Eric sat paralyzed with rage, whereas Helena threw her wine in my face and dragged me to the ground. We both fought in the middle of the kitchen, plates flew over the other guests, our tablecloth tore and hair was pulled in every direction. She accused me of stealing her spotlight and sabotaging their moment. All I was guilty of was reacting to their poisonous jibes. Eric pulled us apart, chocolate icing smeared all over his face like some budget joker. He ushered me into the next room, wiping his face and shaking his head. Once the door was locked, he took my face and kissed me. I became frozen to the spot, my body tense and heart racing. I tried to pull away, but he had me in a tight grasp. I eventually wiggled free and he said, "Did you like that?" I gasped, "Liked what? You're bullying?" He smiled and said, "I love it when you get jealous." I hear a whimper coming from the door, and see Helena stood with little bits of lemon cake still stuck to her hair.